Hey guys, what is up? My name is Phoenix.
I'm Teddy.
And I'm Blackhawk.
And this is episode 3 of our Getting Started series. This one being about what primary you should purchase as your first airsoft gun. Because as we all know, that is the most important aspect of airsoft. And there are a few avenues and options that you can go or utilize and experiment with. But I wish I had this kind of knowledge back when I first started airsoft, because all of us are victim of money. I want that one. But don't judge me.
Obviously.
Don't judge me. But this is information that is meant to help people who are actually trying to get into airsoft and don't want to shell out a whole lot of money and then buy a crap product because they did not have this information available to them, and then they just stop playing the sport altogether because they had a bad time right off the bat. So I guess what we can do is we can get started with the most common version of an airsoft assault rifle, which would be an AEG platform, which, Teddy, you want to take it away from here?
I don't know what to say here, but this is really like the most common. It's not an electric blowback. There are some that do that.
I mean, that specific gun is not the most common.
Well, obviously not. We're talking about the type, not the actual weapon itself. Okay. This is probably a bad example. I blame you for this.
Me or him?
Whichever one's easy. Take it at face value. But some of them will blow back when you pull the trigger. Some of them will just sit like this one does. I have the stock collapsed, obviously. But you pull the trigger, it shoots one. You can change it to semi-auto. We've all kind of been through the steps here. But it's battery powered. Simple as that.
As far as batteries go, that's another option that you have to consider when you look at AEGs, because most common intermediate weapons start at run perfectly off of 9.6 volt, which is the most common for beginner to novice airsoft players. But you can go all the way up to 11.1 volt. Wait, is it 11.1?
No, that one's 11.1. That's a 7.4.
Okay, yeah. Which LiPos are the most reliable battery as far as AEGs go, as long as you have the gun that can compete with that kind of battery power.
And the charger. You have to have the right charger, don't just put it on a normal charger.
That was another thing I was going to bring up too, was the downside. The biggest downside of these batteries is careful when you are charging these bad boys, because
they will blow up.
That happens right there.
Yeah, this one's a little puffy. But they will blow up on you. I'm Zero if you're watching this. I still apologize. I know that was years ago. But it's not my fault that my battery turned into a ball of blue fire. But that's just something to consider when you shop around for AEGs as your first airsoft assault weapon. Because, everything's got a give and a take to it. The 9.6 volt batteries are safer to use, but they're not as powerful as LiPos. Well, LiPos are a little bit more dangerous to deal with. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
I really don't think there's much more. It's entry level, so we want to keep it simple for them.
Yeah, it's entry level.
The next gun is a gas blowback. So you have the gas blowback pistols, which is I guess that's really the most popular that people would see as an entry level item. Yeah. Gas blowback rifles is really not an entry level. That's something that you're going to be shelling out a lot more money. It's a lot more maintenance, all that kind of thing going on. But they look really cool. You can look at doing for reenactments and stuff like that. And so you'd have that pull back, and sometimes they'd pop back, and you have the gas expelling from it. And I believe this one would take. The magazine has the gas.
Yes.
Yeah. The magazine is the part where it holds the gas. We don't have the magazine here to show you, but normal M4 magazine, little nozzle on the bottom of it. Stick your green gas or your propane with your lubricant in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend using propane though. Just spend the money on green gas.
It'll save you a ton of headache in the long run.
yeah, for sure. I don't know how many pistols I've destroyed using.
Again, we would have loved to have this information starting.
100%. 100%.
But I mean, you didn't find YouTube channels with millions of subscribers back then.
Yeah.
I mean, and most of it was all like gameplay videos only.
Yeah, no, they didn't really talk about stuff.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, gas blowbacks, I don't really know what else to talk about when gas blowbacks. I mean, they're high maintenance. They look really cool though.
Yes.
If you have a magazine that doesn't leak, they're fairly dependable. But it just depends on your climate and what the pressure of your gas is going to have to be, low, medium, high, all that fun stuff. So
it's just way too many variables, I feel like, for gas blowback as an option.
Yeah, the vast majority of the times I wouldn't particularly recommend it, I guess.
No.
There's a certain times that it does come in handy, and it's nice to not have to worry about a battery. If you just, you're out in the middle of the field, you don't have any kind of electricity or anything to be able to charge batteries for a multi-day
Right.
adventure, and but also you have what you're about to talk to.
Right.
For that option.
But before we get to that option, there is one thing I just want to add with the gas blowback is I feel like that's the most expensive platform that you can run, solely because the gun itself starts at around like $300, and then the magazines are about $30 to $40 a piece, as opposed to $60 for a box of 10 AEG mags.
Right, and then also having to fill those mags with the gas. I mean, yes,
Right.
you have CO2 for the CO2 stuff,
But you're still having to spend the money on CO2.
Right, and if you're gonna go pressurized air, between green gas, HPA, CO2, HPA might be the best option.
100%. Which that's a good segue into the third option of not a beginning, but an assault rifle option is, like you said, HPA. Now, HPA is very similar to AEGs in terms of functionality. Where it differs, though, is that it's powered off of two different sources, and that would be a tiny LiPo battery that is different than the LiPos that we discussed earlier for the AEGs, and it is also powered off of compressed air and a regulator. Now, what that does is it gives you a lot more consistency, FPS-wise, for every BB that you fire, and arguably a little bit more accuracy and consistency because of that FPS output. Now, this option I like a lot, but downside is, just like with the gas blowback, it is stupidly expensive, especially for a first-time airsoft weapon. Because the gun itself, depending on the brand and model, would run you about $200, $300. Then the engine inside the weapon will cost you easily around $500 to $700, depending on brand and manufacturer. And then you have to worry about line set, tank, regulator. And it's just a lot of money to shell out for a first-time airsoft weapon, and it's just not worth it in the long run, especially if you do not know if you're going to fall in love with the sport like we have. But that pales in comparison to the fourth and final option that is available for first-time airsofters, and that would be the sniper rifle. But I would heavily advise against getting a sniper rifle as your very first airsoft weapon, and we will explain that in another video later on down the road. However, just take our word for it. We're not telling you what to do. We are giving you our 2 cents as veterans of the sport and giving you information we wish we had back when we first started playing airsoft.
It's called an opinion.
It is called an opinion. That was a long-winded way of me saying it's an opinion. Thank you. But anyway, I guess the best way to close out this video would be to give our final thoughts individually. And my final thought would be, as a first-time airsoft assault weapon, your primary rather, I would heavily go towards a sport line version of an AEG, something that's made of high-quality polymer instead of, aircraft aluminum or any kind of pot metal, because it's lightweight and you can still put internal upgrades in your gun as you progress in your airsoft career, so that way you're not shelling out a lot of money for an expensive weapon on the off chance that it might work. Because in this sport, accidents happens, gun breaks, and then I just feel better for people spending $200 max on an airsoft weapon that's reliable, as opposed to a name brand $500 gun when they take a nasty spill. Oh, butt stop broke.
I've been there. I've done that. And it was on a cheaper gun, actually, and ended up getting another cheaper gun just because first timers are always going to fall. You're always going to run into a tree. You're always going to run into somebody. Something happens, a door frame, something like that. We've all done it. We've all run into the door frame. You're in a rush. Cheaper gun hurts you a little bit less when you break because you are going to break guns. It's going to happen.
I mean, and the other thing is, like, if you're wanting to look for something that's a lower pricing, is you can find something that's used. Go to swap meets, and you know that's a good way to plug yourself into the community of like the airsoft community itself, and going into the swap meets. And that's where I found my first AEG, and I got it for $100.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, well, my first good one I bought. I mean, I had other ones, like, you know, Walmart stuff, but
we all started with
like,
Springers.
Like my first, I mean, Echo One, AK-47. So I mean,
and you still use that to this day.
Yeah, I still use that.
Well, I had
other stuff. That one.
What was mine? A JG AK?
Yeah, it was.
And that was the one that actually broke, but I broke it. Yeah, I fell on it. I'm fat.
But like I said, accidents happen, and that was no real cost to you. You're like, oh, I'll just get another one.
Yeah.
But now that you have more experience in the sport, now that we have more experience with the sport, we take better care of our weapons, so that way they don't do that. Like, if this breaks, I'm out $900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It helps out with good training for actual firearm handling and firearm training itself. I'm not saying that. I'm not one of those people that's going to say that airsoft is a simulation for firearm training because they're two completely different things. I've done both.
Yeah.
And completely different things. But it's a good segue and start of how to properly handle a firearm without risking shooting somebody and causing some horrible injury. So then you can do that. Learn proper firearm safety. Don't point your barrels at somebody unless you're planning on shooting them.
Which that is a good idea for a video that we can do in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, what's the you recommend?
AEG for sure.
AEG is the beginning. AEG is
AEG.
AEG as well. Just stay away from snipers. That's your first thing. You can get into that once you get a little more advanced and you want to calm down, not be in the rush of the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or get fat like Teddy over here.
We all put on pounds. Don't act like a victim.
It's okay. Fat is relative.
Yeah. It's dad bods in season.
Ain't that? Alright, anyway, that was our 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Phoenix.
I'm Teddy.
And I'm Blackhawk.
Thank you guys for watching Airsoft. What was this?
Rules of Airsoft Part 3.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it's Getting Started Part 3.
This is Getting Started Episode 3. I hope you guys found it enjoyable, and we will see you guys in the next one. Alright.
Hello.
Hi. This concludes our broadcast day.
I hate you.
Anyway.
What kind of battery?
Honestly, don't know.
Well, that's another good point to bring up is...
But I don't feel like that's the right argument here.
Well, it's a... Where are you going?
Get a battery to show people what a battery looks like.
Preparation is key!
I just popped myself in my head.
That was a creepy laugh.
That was a very creepy laugh.
I
It was like a
usually
gay joker.
You're a gay.
A gay Joker? How do you know the Joker's not gay?
Because Mark
Harley Quinn.
Okay, I was waiting for somebody to say Harley Quinn. Batteries.
You're going to help me go over all these because I've honestly forgotten a lot.
Hey guys, what is up? My name is Phoenix.
You already f***ed up. Start over.
Okay. Damn it. Hey guys, what is up? My name is Phoenix.
I'm Teddy.
And I'm Blackhawk.
Oh, God.
Oh god. Did you really just... Hey guys, what is up? My name is Phoenix.
I'm Teddy.
And I'm Blackhawk.
Welcome back to the channel, and then... Damn it.
You already f***ed up.
I already f***ed up, dude. Okay.
It's not hard. You're just saying hi.
It's kind of hard.
It's soft.